But we're going to be talking about the Quest today. We're going to be talking about the Quest 2 specifically, and just what kind of things you might want as accessories. That'll be our main topic. We'll also talk about some games that I really like. Anybody is welcome to join in the discussion and just share what are some games you like, what are some accessories you like, what are some things that you have for your Quest that you think are wonderful. I have a Quest 1 case here. I really like this. It's very minimal. I like it better than the Quest 2 case. I had a Quest 2 case. It was very fabric-y. It was larger. It was about this much larger. It was an extra about 3-4 inches above this, because the Quest 2 has that hard strap you can get that cups the back of your head, which is wonderful, but it broke. Like a bunch of people's broke. Like literally today, my friend Kenny, he said, I pulled out my Quest and the strap snapped. Like today for him. He's had it for almost a year. The thing is, it's not a matter of if your Quest strap will break, it's a matter of when. Like the original strap, I think they've updated it so it's better, but I sent mine back. I was like, I'm not gonna bother with this. Zern also had his strap break. He sent a picture in the Discord. Just get rid of it. I mean, get a different one. I'll talk about straps, I'll talk about cases, I'll talk about some things for the Quest 2. You're gonna need a case though, right? You're gonna need a case. My recommendation is the Quest 1 case. Really like this. It is hard. It is resistant to grease and dirt and issues out here. The Quest 2 case is much lighter, right? It's a much lighter fabric. It's gray, light gray, which looks cool, but it's gonna get dirty, I think, and it's not gonna look so good. Like Zern said, it feels like cardboard with felt glued on. This is more solid. It's a nice solid case here. And you can see this is the inside of the case. This is like the outside of the Quest 2 case. So I don't know what you think about that. But yeah, Quest 1 case I recommend. You'll see here I have my Quest 2. We'll talk about some of the things I have going on here. But you'll notice I have the felt strap. We'll talk about straps as well. I'm a fan of the felt strap, and I'll talk about that in a minute, because there are so many straps you can get. You can get so many different straps for the Quest. And I really think you should get a different strap. I have, and I know this is not a flex, it's not an intentional flex. I guess it is a flex, but I'm not intending to. I have another Quest where I have the deluxe audio strap mod. I really, really highly recommend having some other strap if you are playing VR for more than an hour. If you're playing for only an hour, the fabric strap is totally fine. Totally fine to have the fabric strap. It just doesn't, it's not that comfortable after an hour. Here's what I have for my fabric strap, and they sell these. It's a very, very inexpensive modification for your fabric strap. It cups the back of your head a little bit, right? It just brings the strap down. I 3D printed mine. You can buy these for like $10 on Amazon. They might be even like $15 maybe, but they're like rubbery, and it spreads it out. It spreads the surface area of the strap out. Zern says the fabric strap started to cut into your ears, and the worst thing you've ever had. So it does actually kind of hit your ears here in a little way. This will help kind of spread it out. This little back thing here. If you get one on Amazon, it'll just spread out that pressure on the back of your head. I'll put this on here. I'll show you. It does kind of hit your ears. The strap itself. Any strap, though, is probably going to hit your ears. You'll see here. Right there. My ears barely touch it, and it's a non-issue. I go like that. I tuck my ears in. I'll kind of move it, and it's really a non-issue. It doesn't bother me. It might bother you, but it doesn't really bother me. You can get other straps that don't touch your ears, but this one, the basic fabric strap, it will touch your ears, just to keep that in mind. I have not tried every strap available, but there are many on Amazon. There are many straps available where you would pop this off. Might be hard to see with my green screen, but this pops off and allows you to, oh, never mind, I did it for you. You can get, other straps that pop onto here, which is fine, but I don't really think that the official Oculus straps are the way to go, because, like I said, they've been breaking on people. My friend had his break, Zern had his break, tons of people have them break. You might as well get a different one that's cheaper, that doesn't break. But there you go. The extended battery on the built-in strap is nice, but what I do instead, I use little external battery packs. I have a whole bunch of these. They're really, really inexpensive. You can Velcro them onto the back of your headset. They also kind of act as a counterweight, which is kind of cool. Or you can get Velcro loops and loop them around the back of your headset, and then you just plug them in. The official battery strap, it's nice, it's done well, but it makes your Quest this big all the time. This big all the time. And okay, that's fine, but if you're really traveling, this is something you're gonna have to think about. Do you want your Quest to always be this big? Because if it is, you need a bigger case. And then you've got the battery in it. You got to charge that specific battery, which hooks up to this specific port. The next thing about that, if you're plugged into your extended battery, you can't plug in to the extended battery to your computer. So if you're planning on doing wired VR to your computer, you have to plug in here. So now you're unplugging and replugging this in. Okay, it's just one concern you might have. I got rid of it, and if I ever need longer VR, I Velcro a battery back here. I do a Velcro loop thing, and I put a battery on, which is fine. I personally don't think it's worth the money. The thing is, you're going to get 2 hours of VR out of this, right? By 2 hours, you're probably ready to let it charge, take a break, come back to it later. It doesn't take forever to charge up, so I really don't think the extended battery, the specific extended battery pack, is worth it. You haven't gotten the link cable yet, but does it charge all? Yes, the link cable will charge your Quest. It'll keep it charged up. The official link cable is $80. I think I got a cable for, I think, $25. It's USB 3.0, so it's got the speed. It's very long, very durable. It has the angled connector, so it's sideways like this instead of sticking straight out. So it's angled. $25. That's really not bad. You don't have to buy the official. What I actually recommend before buying a link cable, if you have a decent Wi-Fi network, if you have something like a 5 gigahertz network, I would try using something like Virtual Desktop or Oculus Air Link. If you're able to use those and you don't need a cable, don't spend the money on a cable. Use the wireless, right? Use the wireless ability, because it's going to be better than having a cable. If you have a cable, I even have this with my Index. It's annoying. It's in the way. It's something you think about. It's something you might trip on, and it's not worth it. If you can do wireless, you want to do wireless. It's worth it to do that wireless stuff. I play wireless with a Quest. If I'm using a Quest, I'm playing wireless to a PC, or I'm playing natively on the Quest, and I've never really had a concern about the battery. It stays pretty well charged and isn't really an issue. So anyway, we kind of talked about cases a little bit. I recommend the Quest 1 case if you have the fabric strap. If you have the Elite strap, or if you have a deluxe audio strap mod, or if you have some other type of head strap that's more solid, you might need a bigger case. I would recommend buying a camera bag. That's what this is. You can buy most camera bags that fit DSLR cameras, so larger cameras, and they've got a huge compartment that your Quest will fit into. And I tuck a t-shirt in here to protect the lenses, and then in the top is where I keep the controllers. And so it's kind of got compartments where you've got different places to store things, keeps the controllers separate so it doesn't bump into the lenses. Pretty nice. If you're looking for an official Quest like backpack or case, you're gonna spend more money because it's licensed for Quest, or it's, specific for VR. Sorry, my mic probably made a weird noise. But you can just buy a camera bag. This one's Caden. Caden is the name of this one. You can find it on Amazon. It was probably $15, and it's marketed as a camera bag. It works fine for the Quest. It's got a side axis, a front axis, a top pocket, a side fabric thing. You can put a charger or like glasses in here, or a phone, or whatever you want in the side. So I kind of like that for my my other Quest. You downloaded Pavlov yesterday and played around the shooting range. It's amazing. Yeah, so Pavlov on Quest, I mean, the thing is, nothing on Quest is going to be as good as PCVR is now, right? Some things might be kind of close. But Pavlov on PC is amazing. It's absolutely amazing. But the Pavlov beta that you can play just straight on Quest it blows my mind. I'm like, how can it be this good when it's just running on this like mobile hardware? Like, it blows my mind. It is very good. It's really, really amazing. I agree, Mr. Star. It's very, very fun. Cases, again, check out a camera case. Check out some other case that fits the Quest. You don't have to get a Quest specific case. There's tons of them out there. Another thing I really, really highly recommend is something to protect your lenses. Protect your lenses. Because I don't know if people fully understand this. We've had cell phones. We've had iPads. We've had PlayStations and Game Boys and Switches for years, and we've set them out on the coffee table, and we've laid them down. We haven't really cared about, like, oh my gosh, it's laying out. If you leave this sitting out, like on a coffee table, and there's sunlight coming in from the window, and it's on these lenses for more than like a minute, literally a minute, maybe even 30 seconds. I've not tested it, obviously, but if there's sunlight on here, it will magnify, go in and burn up the lenses. Or burn up the screen. It will cause damage by just sitting in the sunlight. And so I highly recommend getting something to just go boop, plop in here, and now you've protected it. Now it's not going to have sunlight hitting on there. This could sit fine on a shelf, on a table, on something, because the lenses are covered. Sunlight can hit this fine. It's okay. The issue is when it hits the lenses. People freak out and they're like, is it okay if this hits sunlight? If the cameras have sunlight? It's fine. This is where sunlight matters. If sunlight hits here, that's going to be an issue. Now, I wouldn't leave it at all in the sunlight just in case it gets in there, and it could fade, the coloring could fade or whatever, it could yellow with the sunlight, but I wouldn't leave it in the sun, but this will help protect it. Azern's in the basement, so it's good to go. Yes, I would agree with that. And Among Us VR, I'm very excited for. I think it'd be really fun. If you think about VR, if you think about Among Us, you're trying to lie, and you're trying to like persuade people like, no, I didn't do it, but now you're doing it in VR, you're moving around. That'll be really neat. Anyway, that's my second recommendation. Get something to cover your lenses. It can even be a t-shirt, like I do in my case. I just shove a t-shirt in there to cover up the lenses. It's fine. The next thing I have recommended for the Quest to upgrade to make it a better experience is a new facial interface. I have these rubbery covers. Oculus will send you one of these for free if you got a Quest originally. I think the new ones are fixed or come with one of these in the box. It's just black, and it's just nicer on your face than the stock fabric. The fabric is a little itchy, a little goofy. Some people have reactions to it, some people don't. But I recommend some sort of new facial interface, be it a cover that goes over the original or a whole new plastic thing. You can get a whole new plastic dealio. I've got the lens spacer here for glasses. We can get a whole new thing here with like leather around here. If you'd rather have leather on your face, you can do that. I have that on my CV1. I also have another one for the Quest, which I don't really use. So I'd recommend some sort of new cover. I can recommend, what's it called? Why can't I think of the name of it? VR cover. It's literally called VR cover. It might be a little better. And is the leather hotter? No, I would say silicone's probably hotter, probably a little warmer, but it's easier to wipe off. The fabric that normally comes with this will get drenched in sweat. It'll be very uncomfortable. It will not last a very long time. So this default fabric, I would say as soon as you can, cover it up or get a different one. The leather is much more comfortable, much more comfortable. No matter what, it's going to get a little warm. No matter what you have on your face, it's going to get a little warm. But the leather is so much more comfortable. So is silicone. Silicone's decently comfortable. Like this is fine, this cover I have. So yeah. And I know we were going swimming. This does look like I have some goggles on, doesn't it? Got some swimming goggles on. But yeah, this is pretty comfortable. And this I find is much more clean. I can just wipe it off and boom, we're good to go. So cool. That's my next recommendation. That's the next thing I would say is like you should upgrade or get something that's better than the stock. In terms of this, and attaching these, sometimes it is hard to get them off and get them back on. You just have to line them up, try not to like damage your lenses, but line them up, get the top strap pulled out of the way, and line it up and just smash it on. Pretty much, you'll hear a click. It'll click in, but it's sometimes a little goofy to get those on. And now here's the next thing. Mr. Star worries about glasses scratching the lenses. What you can do and what I recommend, there are 3D prints you can get. They'll probably cost you like $10 if you don't have your own 3D printer. But I have these little lens covers that you can 3D print and snap onto the lenses. It doesn't damage the Quest. It doesn't permanently modify the Quest at all, but they will just snap on and cover up the Quest. It gives it a little bit of a bumper so your glasses don't actually hit the lens. What I have in these is a little more advanced. It actually is a prescription lens insert. There's an actual prescription lens here that magnets onto the Quest. These will run you about $70 or so. Boop, there we go. These run you about $70 to get prescription inserts, but the best thing you can do, use the lens spacer they give you. It's unlikely your lenses will actually touch with your glasses if you use the lens spacer that it's included in the box of the Quest 2. But if you are more concerned, which I always am, you can get a 3D printed part which snaps onto here. And so yeah, it'll help protect your lens. Just adds a little bit of a bumper in there. And to address this, as Ern says, if you don't have a $1,000 3D printer, 3D printers are about $150, if you didn't know. To print the size of part that you would need for the Quest, it's about this big, you would need about a $150 printer. I've got one, I think it was a $300 3D printer. It does amazing prints. It works really well. But yeah, they are certainly not that expensive. They're pretty inexpensive nowadays. But yeah, if you worry about your lenses, definitely get some sort of protection in terms of a bumper. And then actually what I've done, I've actually hot glued onto that lens spacer, that 3D printed lens spacer I was telling you about. I've hot glued old glasses. I've just taken out the lenses of old glasses, hot glued them onto the spacer, and now they are clipped in there. And you can see it is kind of janky, but it does the job. They are hot glued on top of the lens spacers, and they sit right in my Quest. They work fine. So I do take off my glasses when I use either of my Quests. I leave my glasses on when I use my Index. My Index has the bumpers. It has the 3D bumpers to keep my glasses from touching. So there you go. So those are kind of the biggest things I would say that I would recommend for your Quest. A head strap, a new facial interface, and a case. Those are probably the biggest must-have things. You could of course get an extra battery if you want to power up your Quest. You can have a battery, but I would call those three things essential: a new facial interface, a case, and a new head strap. Then you can go into, bumpers to protect your glasses or protect your Quest. You can get special lens inserts to have that prescription in there. Of course, a protector as well, but you can just use a t-shirt or something, but a protector for the lenses. Now we get into some of the non-essential things that I think are they're nice to have. They're kind of cool. These guys, I like these. They are grips that you put your hand into. You tighten it up, and now you can fully release your hand. I think it's really nice to have these. It's kind of cool. But they run about $30, and you would probably prefer to have the new head strap because it's comfort on your head while you're playing. You'd probably prefer to have a case that's protecting your Quest when you're storing it or moving it around. This is more of a luxury, right? It's more of a luxury thing where it is more comfortable when you play, but it is another recommendation. So boom. Cody. These are $10 and they just protect. They give you a little more grip. They're kind of nice. I like those. Just a silicone grip. This is on my minimal Quest that doesn't really have much on it. It's just, a little grip on there. It also helps keep them clean. If you were to use without some sort of grip or protector on these, I would imagine they would get kind of dirty just from sweating while playing games. As you know, with controllers, they went on a white design for the Quest 2, which I think is distinct. It's cool, but I'm worried about it getting dirty. Who knows if it'll get dirty or not, but I always worry about that. The potentially last thing that I have is a VR stock. This is very, very unnecessary. If you really, really like shooting games with weapons, this really adds to the immersion of it, but it's definitely not necessary. It makes it really feel like you're holding a weapon. It makes you able to aim down sights and use a very, very intense scope more easily. But in terms of reloading and using it very quickly, it can get in the way. But this is an example of one. It's a VR stock, and it'll hook onto your controllers, and they will magnetically attach. This might be kind of loud. They magnetically attach, and they allow you to have that more precision while playing games, to be able to look down the sights, to be able to hold very steady because it keeps your hands in line. You can put it around your shoulder while you play. I think it's pretty cool. I don't think it's necessary though. I think it's a nice thing if you have like a bunch of money. You're like, what can I spend to make this more immersive? You could get a VR stock. I think it makes the games a little more immersive if you're using weapons all the time. I actually do have one more thing that would make the Quest more immersive. One more thing that makes it, more real feeling is a Tack Suit. This is the most ridiculous thing that you could buy for VR today because not all games support it, and the games that do support it, some of them do not support it the best. But it's a Tack Suit, and what this is, it's a haptic vibration suit. Or if you think about vibration on a game controller, if you've ever played a game without the vibration, you note it. Oh, this turned on. It turned on now. You notice it's not as good, right? You turn off the vibration, it's not as good of a game. You don't get the feedback when you're shooting. You don't get the feedback if you get shot. You don't have the feedback of the car tires moving on the ground, like you get the rumble and all that. It's same thing here. You get the vibration, you get the feedback on your back, on your front, and it's interesting. It's very interesting. It definitely adds a layer of immersion, adds a layer of real, of feeling real when playing games. And these little haptic motors are like this. Absolutely not. I do not recommend this. I really don't recommend this to anybody unless you're like, I really want to get immersed in Skyrim VR. I really want to play Pavlov and have the recoil of the gun and feel it. Because yeah, you feel it. It gives you that response, but it does not make the experience like so much better. Where you're like, wow, it's so realistic. I can feel everything. It's not like that if that's what you're expecting. But it's very, very cool, and it adds to that level. So if you're someone who's like, I want the next level of immersion, that's what it is. It is expensive though. This is a very expensive way to do that. It's really the only way to do it, but these things are pretty expensive. They're up there. More than the cost of a new Quest. Yeah. So that's what I would recommend for Quest accessories. Just to recap, I would definitely recommend getting some sort of case to protect your Quest. I would then recommend some sort of head strap comfort, be that a whole new head strap that maybe has more of a mechanism that like the ratchets closed, maybe has built-in headphones, or even something as simple as a thing that kind of spreads out the pressure of the strap. You can buy these, like I said. That would be my next recommendation. So case and then a strap. And then I would also say some sort of new facial interface to make it a little more comfortable. You can get a VR cover, something with leather, something with silicone, maybe make it a little more comfortable. After that, I would say the grips or the things to make it hold onto your hand better. So some sort of grip would be my next recommendation for the Quest. Here is that. Boom, on my other set of controllers. Something that gives you that better grip, I would recommend as well. There you go. So those would be like my big recommendations. Other ones that are just over the top, definitely not necessary, would be a VR stock and a haptic suit. Those are like the next level of things you could get. Let me try that. Can I wear this with the Quest? I'm not even sure. Let's find out. Gotta get it on the right way. This would be a very hot situation. This would get very warm, but I guess I can do it. I guess it works. I'm not blocking any of the sensors. Yeah, so I can wear this hat. Actually, this is my third recommendation. Get a hat like this. Boom. And this is, you're looking at peak performance right now. This is the way to play the Quest.